Eileo guys, and welcome back. Quick shout out to Lisa. I will show you guys the picture in this video, but quick shout out to you Lisa for doing this awesome fan art of your boy. But anyways, my boys, we have Amu. This will be Amu's first account review. We've been trying to do this for a while now, and it finally worked out. So praise be to Yevon for this working out. And let's go ahead and see what we got going on, my boys. Alright, Amu, so I already went through your mom box, and for the most part your gems are fine. Your biggest issue though is obviously that you lack gems. Not saying that the ones that you have are bad, just they could be a lot better, which obviously indicates that there is some problems going on with golems, but we're going to take care of that today. We can also address your Tower of Chaos, aka chaos issues as well, but let's do the golems first. So you're already at pretty much the cusp of B10, but I'll just go through these anyways just to be safe, just to make sure if you need to come back and do one of these to get some better gems for your mons for B10 that you have it. If not, you can take this, change it up a little bit, and apply it to dragons and test your luck over there as well. So let's start off with B7, which is the water golem. What's Enkidu's moves? Oh yeah, Sea Striker. That's not going to do you any good. You could bring in Dark Mona. Purse as what? Shock and something? What is that? Morale boost and shock. That could be potentially useful. Potentially. You could bring in Miho as well and see if there's anything else that you have in your box. Banshee could work. Hohenheim could work. Shiva could work. Something like this would be perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. I mean, if you didn't want to bring Hohenheim, even though she has the resist down and sap, which isn't ideal in this situation. See if there's anything else we could bring over. You have a new, and Wood Fibian, he's not going to really do any damage. He might just slow you down. But you could always trade her out with Light Purse, and that should be fine for your B7 team. Now I will suggest that you get these mons to 60 for the simple fact that their damage goes a lot better. It's going to make runs a lot better, and if you're doing dragons, especially the higher up you go, they need to be 60, but you can work on that in the future. For B8, you got Mona, another Mona. Doesn't really matter at this point. You're pretty much done with B8. Let's see if there's anything else. I'm trying to find mons with quick animations though, just to save time with the runs. You got plenty of Nat 5s though, I would tell you that. I didn't see much else. Not much else. Purse is going to do nothing there. I mean, you could bring 2 more Monas. You could bring in Water Loki because he has Hunter, I do believe. And anyone else doesn't really matter at this point. They should be able to clear this just fine. I would suggest another Mona, but you could just bring in Purse anyways, and that team should be perfectly fine. But of course, if you were to invest into B8, which I highly recommend you do after this video, get Mona to 60. Make sure she's booked up. If you're going to use Loki because you're already working on getting him to Evo 3, get him to 60. You don't have to book him up, but get him to 60. Make sure his gems are optimal, and make sure, you know, Purse and Mona. I think Mona's pretty good. She just needs one better gem. But make sure they're as good as you can and start farming B8 because you're going to need money for all the gems that you get. And then let's move over here to B9, which you are running Candling, Wildfang, Leo, and Light Wendigo. Not really sure why Light Wendigo's in there. You could trade it out with Fire Valk. She does have stunning, so it's not really much of damage, just CCing. You could run Fire Miho in there as well because she does have healing, I believe, some form of healing. And then attack down on the first move though. In my opinion, I would just slide in Dark Mona. Just slide in Dark Mona. You have Candling already doing the debuffs, which may slow your runtime down, but at this point we're just trying to clear it out and get you some better gems. But Dark Mona alone, especially with Leo, you should be pretty much set for B9. And again, you can apply this to dragons. tweaking may be needed for all these compositions, but in the event that it is needed, take one of those mons out and replace it with one of the healers that you have, and you should be good to go on there. If not, if you need help, of course, the squad is over there on the Discord. So if you guys haven't joined the Discord yet, you're missing out. You are missing out. So let's go over here to the cream of the crop, though, which is the lovely B10. And you could bring person there, but honestly, I would say you would need to run an entire light team, because if not, she's going to get mauled. You do have a water purse, which is great. You can use Dark Mona as a wave clearer. You can also run Miho in there as well as a sapper, because I don't see any other sappers that you have at the moment. And of course, if you pull like a water Artemis or you pull a fire Persephone, then you can replace Miho with that. Purse may or may not be necessary depending on how well you do, but I did see that you don't have a like Nike. So like this squad right here would be perfectly fine if you had a like Nike. You could be doing golems already, but you don't. So hold on to all of the Victorias that you get and then feed them. Not really rush worth claiming at this point because you're almost to Odin. So once you get light Odin, just put her to Evo 2. Trade out light Victoria over here, throw in Odin, and you should be good to go with this team. This is probably the most safest team that you can have, but Miho will need to be 60. Make sure she's skill booked up. Mona, of course, with her gems, that should already be taken care of for B8, and then Persh at least should be on triple HP. But if your DPS is good enough with Dark Mona, then you shouldn't need Purse, so that would allow you another slot for either a wave clearer or a DPS, but not a wave clearer DPS, but a wave clearer or a sapper. But in this case, I would go ahead and just slide in Wood Hohenheim. You have her already. Yes, sap is her 5-star skill, but with the resistance down, that's going to help your Dark Miho out, not your Dark Miho, your Water Miho out with getting her saps to stick on the golem. I've been using Wood Hohenheim and golems for the last couple of months. Have no issues. It's just like running triple sappers. It's literally like the same thing. Sometimes it's better than others, but literally like the same thing. Dark Mona should be fine for wave clearing, and then you'll have Odin there for the heals. Now, once there will come a time once these girls are gemmed up properly where you can let your light Odin go. So feel free to test that out in the future, but this is just to get you started. But in the event that you can let light Odin go, then I of course would recommend you getting yet another sapper. So 3 sappers total. Hopefully you can pull something else during that time, and just run 3 sappers and a wave clearer. If not, pick up 4 light Phoenixes in the future when Phoenix comes back, which is inevitable, or light Mowgli, whatever. You could do one of those compositions, but this one should be pretty good for you. You shouldn't have any issues once you get them all. I repeat, once you get them all to 60, skill book up the ones you can, like Dark Miho, not Dark Miho. Why do I keep saying that? Water Miho. Skill book her up. Make sure your Mona's booked up and gemmed up, which she should be for B8. And then that should be your B10 team. Let's go over here to the Tower of Chouse, though, and see what issues that you're having. Floor 80 is giving you a not so good time. That's with Odin. Well, main problem number 1 is you're running in here with Light Wendigo, who is a Sea Striker. The second problem that you're running into is that you're running with level 50 mons, not 60. Yes, you guys watching this might say, but Eileo, it's perfectly, it's easy to do Tower of Chaos with level 50 mons. I like to be optimal. I like to be as good as I can without, swiping the card. But your problem here, Light Wendigo needs to go. I would say bring in Dark Mona instead as a wave clearer. If you're using Fire Leo as DPS, perfectly fine. Maybe you're using Fire Odin to debuff, but let's see what else you have over here. Not many 60s, but you will get them up one day. I would say if you're trying to burst her down, then this could work. But the safest method for all of Tower of Chaos is go ahead, slide Water Sewer in there. Have him as a CC'er. You got Valken there. You can slide her in there as a CC'er as well. You got a Wave Clearer, and then you can keep Bulby in there if you want. If not, I mean, you can trade her out with Purse. Make sure these all are level 60 and gym properly, and you can pretty much be able to auto from 1 to 100. I'm sure other people have better compositions for this, but literally I run a team darn similar to this, with my difference being Draka and my other Mon being Dark Thor, and I 1 to 100 all day, every day. No problems at all. I said it, come back in an hour and a half. Congratulations, we're done. But that is really the trick to the Tower of Chaos, is just having enough CC to cover your CC in the event that you can't do the DPS part to prevent her from wiping the team. But if you can get her stunned, you should have no problems at this point if you made it to floor 80. So do keep that in mind. Let's see what else we can address here. Of course, finish more of the story when you can. Not a really big deal. Just check the Astromon League for you. I'm not a PvP master. You're already at Diamond Tier 3, and it looks like you're running Enkidu. What does Enkidu have again? He's a Sea Striker, and he has the damage buff, the damage reduction buff. You could probably run something better than that. I'm not sure why you have Light Wendigo in here as well. I'm really not sure why. You can keep Purse in there. You can keep both of the Purses in there if you want, but you could run in with a nice nuker like Dark Mona, depending on what squad that you're fighting. Obviously, your team has to change. But I definitely am no PvP expert. But at this point, your problem isn't your Mons. It's going to be those gems that you have on your Mons. And I did see a Dark Victoria over there, which is splendid, dude. Absolutely splendid. But yeah, I'm definitely not a PvP expert. I'm extremely casual in that department. But hopefully the boys going through this can help you pick out a more efficient team, because I feel like that is not efficient at all. So guys, if you're watching this, feel free to comment below a better team for him. Maybe Dark Mona, Valk for CC. You can use Purse's heals, but I don't really find Purse useful, at least in attack situation for PvP, because she's not bringing anything to the table. But you don't have too much to choose from at this point. So it's really just about leveling your Mons up at this point and bringing in something else. You can also run Dark Sea Star once you get her super evolved, which you can run her now, but again, her and Dark Miho would really benefit from that 10% extra HP. Dark Grid has what, double elemental edge? Yeah, you could run him in there. Not gonna say that he's gonna be extremely useful, but he could be useful against RGB Mons. But we're gonna leave it at that at this point. That team seems okay for now. Yeah, it seems okay. Purse, and you have Valken there, then you have your other Purse. Just getting those up to 60. It's not uncalled for you to be defeated at this point. You're only level 44, so that's not a big deal at all. So let's go back over here. And I'm just going to go through and tell you what I think. So you have a good portion of Mons that can be used for lots of different content, which is great to have, especially for Colossus in the future. But this isn't going to be Colossus. If you can't do Golems B10, we're not going to talk about Colossus. It's just that simple. But you do have a few Mons here and there that are more Titan based, which is perfectly fine. Like, of course, Fire Shinobi. He doesn't need a square slot. It's not a big deal if he doesn't have a square slot. I mean, it hurts his DPS some, but it doesn't hurt him enough that I would just like give him away the first chance I got. Water Bass is a good Titans Mon as well. And let's see if you have any more Sea Strikers. You do have Light Wendigo, which I'm jelly for because I don't have Light Wendigo. Zubaji. Do you have a Wet Barona? No, you just have that wood one. Light Wendigo. I think that's pretty much it. Not much in terms of Titans, but that's not a super big deal because it's just a matter of time investment and luck of getting more Sea Strikers. So I would still say you can focus on Titans if that's something that you enjoy, but our main focus right now, of course, is your gems. I will go through and just pick out mons that you don't necessarily have to work on, but I would say focus on in the future after you get your Golems team down, because Golem teams, number 1, B8, and then number 2, B10, and if you need better gems, of course, go through the B7 and B9 until you get better gems for your B10 squad. But Dark Vic can be very, very useful, especially in Dragons later on, like Dragons B10. So I would invest in her after you get your Light Nike, not before, because you already started on Light Nike, so why not finish what you started? Though technically you wouldn't really need Light Nike with Light Odin. She's still useful at this point for you if you decide to pursue PvP. So do keep that in mind. Not saying that you have to do it or not. Dark Rudolph again works for Titans. She doesn't have a square slot, which is a big oof. But I mean, she'll be back some other time. Not really much to say about Dark Neza. Of course, Venus in the future is perfectly fine to use. Is she worth the gleams to get to Evo 2? That's up to you. That's up to you. Dark Sea Star with her new super evolution can be very, very helpful as well in terms of just being a wall, especially in clan versus clan, or if you want to do some more PvP with dark aggressors, perfectly fine. Same thing with Dark Miho. Dark Bulby will still be very, very useful in the future for you. So get her to 60 when you can, because you can definitely use her in Colossus as well. And I saw that you're already using her in Tower of Chaos. Dark Gatito. You can't go wrong with Dark Gatito. Hopefully one day you can get his crit max. It looks like you're well working towards that. So hopefully one day you can get his crit maxed. And he's very useful in Dragons. And I think that's pretty much it for him. You can use him in Clan versus Clan, but his problem is that he's just extremely glassy. And, I mean, best single damage in the game, though. Best single damage in the game until somebody comes in the comments and say, Eileo, you are a liar. Sarah, they're all Evo 1. Not really worth the gleams to try and get her to Evo 2. Since you have Dark Mona. Baby Shark, you can use him in Titans as well. You have your Light Purse. Get her to Evo 3 when you can. Zubat, you already stated before. Titans Mon. Shiva, get him to 60 because you can still use him in Dragons, and you can still use him in B7 in the event that you need him. But you can at least use him in Dragons, so it's not like a bad investment, especially if you end up getting another Shiva in the future. Well, congratulations, this one's 60 and Evo 2. Make sure you take your gems off him, and congratulations, you already got him gleamed up and raring to go. Wood Hohenheim, if you want to use her, she's worth it in my opinion. You already have her at Evo 2, so just get her to 60, throw her into your B10 squad, and she's done. Like, that's it. She's done. Even Evo 1 Wood Hohenheim will survive quite well in Golems. She will die. She does die sometimes, but ever since I got mine Evo 2, she hasn't died at all, even on HP attack. Wood Minicat is another Titans Mon. You do have a Wood Pinolo. Wood Enkidu. What is that? Attack. Oh, you have him very, very glassy. Sea Striker. Again, if you want to use your Wood Miho, feel free to. Wood Miho or Wood Banshee, both perfectly fine, especially with that Wood Banshee getting her super evolution in the future. But you already have her at Evo 3, level 50. Get her to up to 60, and she should do you quite well. You do have another Mona. Vic. Yep, get that Mona to 60. Get her booked up. Get her to 60 and get her booked up as soon as possible. Because she'll be part of your B8 squad. She's Evo 2. Wild Fang's great for B9 as well. She's not necessary to have for it because you do have other mons like your Leo and Valk who can just provide CCing, but she's not bad to have. So I mean, feel free to focus on her in the future, but not priority number one. And let's check your storage. Nothing in there. So this is what you got. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So yeah, basically what I would focus on, Amu, is going through this video and looking at the mons that I gave you and thinking if you want to use them for any of the golems, which I highly suggest because once again, you can use most of them in dragons. Addressing your Tower of Chaos issue, just bring more CC, and once you get into B10, you'll get a lot more gems, and hopefully you can get your mons better gemmed up for future content. And as far as Titans go, you have a couple of Titan teams in the making here. Maybe 1 or 2 Sea Strikers going all around will benefit you more. But once you farm golems, you'll be able to pull more Nat 4s from the eggs because you're going to be farming it quite a lot. And hopefully you can sacrifice some or, you know, pull some decent mons here and there. But overall, I mean, your count is well on its way to being pretty good as long as you take this advice. Not all of it's going to work, and you can feel free to ask questions or tweak around anything that I mentioned in here because it's not all set in stone, and other guys in the comments may have better solutions for the same thing. But I definitely hope it helps, my boy. Thank you so much for hanging out on the Discord, and of course the boosts. I definitely hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And if you guys want a count review done, either leave a comment on this video, any video, if you want, and make sure you join the Discord, because if you don't join the Discord, there's nothing I can do for the count review because your information will be sent over there and only over there. But anyways, my boys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.